So, there we go. Just having trouble loading it on my end. In a past that may or may not be ours is a time of peril. The one true king lay long dead, slain by his chaos-infected son. Chaos lurks at the edges of civilization's crumbling walls. In between its scattered baronies are the tombs and crypts hiding treasures and magic secrets of the time before, but also horrors. You are an adventurer. You go into these places for those treasures. 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗 is a semi-continent, island nations, multiple islands, laying west of Albion. Ages from now, it will disappear into myth and mist. They say because of its sins. You are here to survive and witness those sins. You are all from Albion. You begin your adventures in its northern regions, but you've heard tales of abandoned vaults and treasures from one of your companions that you've met in the islands of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗. So you commissioned a boat, and you sailed to these godless isles. And you gather together in a seedy tavern to put together a plan to enter one of these vaults. You are on the far northeastern island of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗, a place called 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗. Tiny island republic city-state. The alleyways here are narrow, the stone buildings and stucco tall, 2 and 3 stories. Era upon era have built up on this place. You smell both wine and urine in the night air. And you have made it to the Seven-Headed Cat Tavern, where you make your plans. The Seven-Headed Cat is full of those in the lower streets. This is where deals are made, where people seek information, find people willing to do underhanded things. You can see in the corners people standing and watching. It's clear to you they are. It is Fomalhaut the 17th of Adventuretide. Actually, Solemntide, I'm sorry. And it is the night before your expedition, led by Finbar. Finbar, and the night before, is there anything you would like to do before you take your flea-ridden beds for the night? It costs each of you a gold piece to do so.
Now, we had discussed hiring a thief. I personally don't think that we need to do so, even if there is one. From a meta perspective, every retainer that you take in gets a certain amount of gold and a certain amount of XP. I think for our purposes here, I don't think we need to hire one.
I agree.
Does everyone actually have the money to stay the evening? Nuke, did you say that you needed one?
Yeah, I need to borrow 1 gold.
Okay, I will pay for that, and then I also have to subtract gold for your shield at some point. But other than that, everyone's got their weapons, armor, light, all that good stuff.
Yep. Rations.
Nuke, do you have spells prepared?
So I only start with 1 prepared spell, right? If I don't have the wisdom bonus?
I believe that's true, Ross, correct?
Okay, so I'd prepare light then.
What is your class?
I'm a cleric.
I don't
14
think you get spells at level 1 as a cleric. I could be wrong. John, could you help me out? I might be mixing
know.
BX again. I do that constantly. John, can you help me out with that?
Level 1's no spells.
Yeah, thanks.
So I don't.
Level 2, you get one.
That's correct.
All right.
John,
yeah,
do
you know what it
you
is?
have...
I think you only get one at level 1 if you have the wisdom bonus. Actually, now that.
John, do you have spells prepared?
Yes.
Okay. Other than that, unless anybody else has anything they'd like to accomplish in the tavern, you can normally in an OSR classic adventure game like this, you can listen for rumors at the tavern and see if you get any extra leads. We have a lead, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll go anywhere or be super profitable. Otherwise, if nobody else has anything else they'd like to do.
Yeah.
All right, Ross, I think we're good for the evening.
Okay. Each of you give the barkeep a gold coin. This comes with stew and some dirty ale for the evening and some stale bread in the morning. So the next day you will not have to subtract a ration. So it does include that. You go up to your rooms on the second and third floor of this narrow, tall building. And the beds are tight, small rooms and flea-ridden. You get what sleep you can in the night. You hear dogs outside, laughter, a scream. And you awaken the next day. And it is very fair weather, as the heat has released its grip on the island. Whoops, I got y'all in the wrong place. My bad.
Here for a second.
Alright. You awaken the next day in Arachbrania for your expedition. I think only one person has a horse, but you had to leave it in Port Town. I don't think any of you all have horses with you. Anybody coming from the narrow portion of Albion will have had to have left it in Port Town because you commissioned a ship. So when you leave the city gates, you can see that there are outside of the city there are olive groves and vineyards. Their leaves and their produce have they've withered, their final harvest already taken. And the island is starting to brown in the autumn. And there is a cool ocean breeze coming in from the coast. You can see ahead of you from where you are, outside the gates of the city, a forest to your right front, another forest off in the distance, and some hills this a ways.
First thing is, does everybody know their movement rate?
Yes.
Yes.
Is anybody below a 12?
I'm a 9.
I'm a
I think
9.
I am a 12.
Yeah, so we're all going to move at 9, generally speaking, unless people who are at 9 start dumping stuff if we need to run away or something. So the way to the barrows of the ancient Serpent Kings is going to come down to the fork here, and then we'll take a right, which means left on this mirrored screen. So that's the way we're going to go, Ross. We'll go as far as our sight can take us here.
All right. From where you are, you see large 15-foot tall, heavy metal gates at the base of a hill, almost bunker in style. Beyond it, a sweltering, humid bog, flies wafting into the air. It seems like perhaps it's kept from the ocean breeze from these mountain passes. And you see a rather large mountain here, probably 5,000 feet tall. And a pass on the other end of it. Where do you go from here?
We follow the trail along past the large bronze doors and into the bog.
All right. I'll just have to use a party symbol because I have the wrong tokens here. But everyone should be able to see. A swamp. A boggy place. Figures shambling among the mists. You hear groaning. Up here, you see a rocky crevice. Two people in tattered tabards, spears standing as if parade rest, guarding its entrance.
The Walking Dead.
We actually don't have licensing to say that, so.
Huh?
Not AMC's.
Anything else, Russ?
Nope.
That we can see. Okay,
Sorry
all right,
about that.
all right.
Our turn.
Oh, you're all right.
Sorry about that. I
Alright.
should have said that. Yeah.
No, it's
You know
So-
where
what do we do?
Yes, we've been here before. A couple of notes that I personally remember. We've been in here before. This guarded enclave there, and we found a little bit of treasure, but not much. And we eventually just didn't want to bother with what seemed to be something that we had to think about. Over here, across this water in this little island, are large stone plinths, I believe Ross called them back in the day. We're to understand those are some sort of grave markers or monuments of some sort. We did not investigate those. We wanted to try our luck over here with the two of the undead instead of this mass of undead shambling around in the swamp. So far as we could tell, last time we were here, none of them were openly hostile to us. None of them really even acknowledged our existence. I think that we ought to go back into here and see if we can't progress a little bit further through this barrow and find some treasures within. Any objections?
No, I mean
Nope.
you're the lead on our venture.
All right, Ross, take us into the barrow in between the skeletal guards.
The group walks up to this rocky overhang. As you approach, you can see the blocky, square, 15-foot tall, 10-foot wide entrance that would look as if it were carved from a tomb, a portion of it having fallen off from its front long ago. These two bodies, as that's what they are, they look like rotted, desiccated carcasses, parts of them like stuck a head to a shoulder, digits missing. They hold old rusty spears, and they have the remnants of some long-lost, forgotten uniform. They simply come to attention as you approach.
So they notice us, but they're not like attacking us. They're just standing like.
They stand and they head their spear out, and then they bring it up and straighten as you approach.
They must have instructions to guard this place, but not necessarily be mindless and acting of their own volition.
My personal theory, my personal headcanon on this one, is that humans aren't necessarily what they're guarding against. As they don't really seem to, they seem to like you know, they're snapped to attention. So it almost seems as though they respect us in a certain way.
They were here last time you came?
Yep, and last time we respectfully operated as though we belonged here. So I think we're just gonna walk into the room proper.
Very well.
See, snapping to attention as if like they're familiar with.
It's
Like
the way I always envisioned it was that it looked like we walked up and they saluted us as we walked past.
Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
Okay, I would like us to walk. Is this body still here, Ross?
Let me get rid of these. Yeah, so let me describe what you see at the entrance. As I said, about a 15-foot tall, 10-foot wide stone edifice. An entrance into this, what looks like a tomb. It's almost like the front part of it at some point had just fallen off through erosion or some event. And here, a feast of insects. The remains of a corpse. Otherwise, the echoing sounds of stone in the dark. Your own footsteps, nothing else. It goes into darkness about 30 feet ahead.
Let's move up to this intersection and peer into this hallway to the south. And then, just as a quick note, I believe 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆𝖗 can hold the light. Is that right? I think everyone else is dual wielding, both hands occupied.
Yes, I'm keeping my.
I can. Yeah. Is that a torch?
I have a lantern. I have a hooded
Yeah.
lantern. Hold on, let me double check that.
I have a bronze lantern. We need to use that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll have the lantern
hooded
in one hand and a dagger in the other.
Okay. You come up to these rooms. Inside each of the rooms are something like a sarcophagus or a coffin. They've been uncovered, the lid sitting nearby. A statue on its side. A statue in each room, one of which is on its side.
The last time we were here, we opened these guys up, and there were, I think, some treasures in one of these statues. So I'm going to spoil it for you. There's more of these same rooms up here. And out of the 4 rooms, I think there was some treasure in one of the statues, and then there were some treasures in each of the coffins. But the coffins were also trapped with some sort of chemical warfare type deal. And so we, this body back here is, unfortunately, one of our fallen comrades of the time. If you guys are interested, we can go in and look at them, but we shook it down pretty thoroughly. So if you want to move on, I think we can do so.
I think in the interest of time, should continue past the familiar.
Move on.
Sounds great. Ross, I'd like to double check these rooms as well and make sure nothing has changed in them either as we walk up to them.
You want to walk up to those rooms?
Yes, please.
Okay. And you're at movement speed 9?
Yes.
Okay.
And we also did discuss a marching order as well in out of session.
Oh, what's your marching order?
Well, in combat order, it's Finbar, Pelinal, if that's how you say that, and I don't know what Eddie's character's name is, but
Ralston.
okay.
Ralston.
So it's Finbar, Pelinal, and Nazira in the front rank, and then Ralston in the polearm user in the second rank, and Merdaganen wherever he's not likely to be killed and dead.
All right. Okay. You hear your footsteps clanking against the stone, echoing. No moisture. The wind echoing in from outside off of the sea breeze, hitting the edges, vorticing in. Otherwise, completely silent. And you come up to these two rooms. Your lantern casts light on them. Inside of them, you can see more tombs. These tombs also, the covers have been removed, set off to the side. They also have statues. It's also clear that they have been moved. I should also mention at the end, terminating at the end of this hallway in 50 feet or so, is a door with a stone covering on it, and something hanging from the ceiling as if it's a broken mechanism.
So this is pretty much where we stopped. Now, last we were here, we had a few theories about it. So this stone covering on it does it have blood on it currently, Ross?
You're too far away. Do you want to go up and look at it?
Yeah, we'll move up, I guess 40 feet, so 10 feet away.
10 feet away? Okay. You come up within 10 feet and you can see that there are stains on this stone slab. The stains are old and dried and desiccated and black. It almost looks like old insects that have been squished on something and their bodies and vitae left there for ages.
So our guess the last time we were here is what we're looking at is a trap that has been triggered and is no longer triggerable. And we didn't do anything with it. We tried to pull at it in some way, and it went kerclank and kerthunk. Now, Josh, you can correct me if I'm getting any of this wrong, but it went kerclank and kerthunk, but nothing really happened except for some bending. Now, I'm going to try to describe it, and Ross can correct me if I'm wrong, but this stone covering on this door is held aloft by pins that extend into the walls. So it's not touching the floor or the ceiling, but it's suspended into the walls. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can see that. Imagine like how a curtain rod hanger just kind of cups something. This. And imagine that there are two big hefty dowels at the tops of either side of the stone slab, and they're just hanging there in these two U-shaped holders.
And didn't we see something in the ceiling?
You
Last
did,
time?
and we look at that now, this is where maybe I'm wrong, but I believe you literally climbed up there and rammed something in it.
Pull it down.
We
you
hooked
can
a grappling hook up there and tried to pull it.
Yeah, you did so, and in fact, you can see that there's some kind of metallic mechanism, in fact, hanging from that portion of the ceiling, bent and damaged from your efforts.
How heavy do we think this stone slab is if we try to maybe jostle a little bit?
It's quite heavy. It would take two people to lift either side.
Okay. Do you guys want to try lifting this off its hooks and getting access to this door?
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, we have four men of strength and a magic user.
Yep. I say we do it.
All right, I think that's what we're going to do, is we're going to try to lift it off of its U-shaped hooks and set it up against one of the walls so we can access the door easily.
Who lifts it?
You said it would take 2 men on either side, so 4 men total?
No, just one on either side, sorry.
Okay.
2 men total, yeah.
I can do it. Any other volunteers?
A volunteer.
Okay, me and Ralston will try it. Finbar and Ralston.
All right.
Dynamic duo.
You all get on either side of this big stone slab, and you hear it's sliding across where it's in that latch, and the latch does not move. And you lift it up, and you have a giant stone slab now. It's very unwieldy. It probably weighs 300-400 pounds.
I personally, unless there's, can we examine the back side of it? Can we just like set it up against this wall, with like the side that was facing us against the wall, and see if there's anything special on that side as well?
Yeah, as you push this thing against this wall, you can see two things. First of all, as you get closer, there are stains, old blackened stains on the floor as well. When you lean it against the wall, you look at its backside, and the backside is perfectly clean. And on the other side of that, you see a stone door with a big bevel on it. A big handle. A stone door.
So the only other note that I have for this area that I remember is that last time we were here, when we pulled on the mechanism straight above us, there was some creaking and clanking, and we heard scratching behind this door.
Yes, we did hear sounds on the other side. So we've lifted the stone out of place, and we can access the door now. Am I correct?
Yeah, you've lifted the stone. It's on the wall. It's probably a 350-pound stone. And then on the other side of it is a door.
Hey, when we continue further in, if we're nervous about opening a door that we might think has danger on the other side, we could bring this with us, put it like near the door, and then when we open the door, we could have like two people ready to slide it in front just in case. To like maybe even like if there's multiple threats, we could close off some of them, deal with them, and then unblock it and then face the rest. Or if it's something we don't want to face, we could just literally use it as like a barricade to reinforce the door, protect us.
I think one of the scary parts about that is it just seems so heavy and unwieldy. Having two of our men tied up trying to carry this thing seems like it would be better served.
I'm saying once we clear a room, like
Sure.
I'm not saying like in battle we'd be trying to use it. I'm saying like only when we have a clear room and we're opening up a new pathway to a new room.
Right.
Just because only one or two people will be able to really do anything once we open a door if a threat bursts through or something like that.
So I'll give you some details based on that to clarify. I'll say you can get it through the door. You think that you can get it through like a sofa. If you did, if only two people are moving it, they can only move it one grid, and then they'll have to set it down. If four people move it, you can move it 60 feet per turn with it.
Okay. So yeah, we'd have just enough to basically like block the door, have people ready to respond in whatever limited capacity is available to respond to a single doorway of threat, and then have people on reserve to basically just like shove it in if we need to. If not, they immediately ready themselves to fight.
Something to think about. We've also gotten similar results by spiking doors closed. So if you have iron spikes, you can hammer them in and close a door and lock it that way.
I brought some.
Also, I have old portal if we need to.
Oh, and John can do that. Merdagi can do that magically. Wonderful.
We got lots of options.
No, that's a really good thing to be thinking about. A little bit off topic, I ran a DCC one-shot, and in the rules of the DCC one-shot, there's this spinning fire trap, and it calls out if they undo one of the doors from an earlier room, they can use that as shields against the fire and mitigate some of the damage. Anyway, I think one of us should try the doors. Any volunteers? If not, Finbar can do so.
I'll do the next door.
All right. Let's see here. You move up. Slide the door with the lantern that Merdagian is holding. You can see a slice of the room on the far side revealed. It looks like another stone room, this one about 40 feet across, and how wide you can't tell yet in the darkness. There's an awful, terrible smell coming just from around the corner to the right.
I say we group up and move towards that smell. Face the rules of chaos, as it were,
I was gonna say, like, if we could, I could position myself on the top, like if I'm facing the door to the left of the door, so I could possibly see around that corner a little better.
Sure. Yeah, Finbar will be closest to this stinky boy.
If I set the lantern down the floor, can we still see it pretty good?
Yeah, you could totally do that.
Okay.
Okay, so you do that. Take the lantern enough where you can see in the room. The room looks like another burial chamber. On the north wall are 3 wooden coffins, painted with stylized sleeping snake men. The coffin in the middle is larger and more ornate. You can see here, against the southwest wall, a body. Well, I should say it's a skeleton. It's bones, rotted bones, portions of armor and weapons still on it. But limbs have been ripped off of it. And it's clear that it's, parts of its rib cages have been snapped. Bits of its bones lay tattered, crushed around it. And it's covered in some horrible, foul-smelling fungus.
Be wary, don't touch that.
Yeah.
There's
I'm not
an
really
alcove
interested
to the south.
Not really interested in tussling with fungus. You know what I am interested in? Tussling with rich coffins.
Yeah.
That's right. I like the cut of your jib.
Does any volunteers to open any of the 3 coffins? Now, okay, one thing that we should make note of: the last time we opened a coffin in this place, mustard gas came out, and people died. So we should probably look around. It might have a similar mechanism. So if I remember correctly, the mechanisms in the original coffins were sort of a dead man switch type deal. So when you picked up the lid, it broke the connection and released a gas. So
what
we
about
did.
this?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go.
No, please. I want to hear your idea. This is
I have a
like
poll.
Does anyone have any rope?
I do.
I do. And
What
a
if we
pole.
tie the rope around it, and then we have basically us in a line away from it, and we pull it so it's partially out? However, that endangers it into falling. So what I would suggest is we keep exploring, we come back to this till we're on our way out, and then we do it. Just in case it makes noise, we can get the hell out of here before it possibly alerts something that's a threat.
Funny
You know what
you
I'm
should
saying?
say that, Nuke. That's actually what we did for the other coffins.
Yeah.
So, Ross, can I examine the leftmost coffin and see if what the mechanism for opening it would be? Is it a handle, or is it a hole, or what are we looking at?
It looks like the lid is just laid atop it. There
Okay.
doesn't seem to be a latch or a mechanism or anything like that, and it seems flush with the top of it.
Mm-hmm. I think this was the description of how it was last time. I don't remember exactly what we did. How is the carpentry? Is there slats, or is it all flush?
You mean in the room or on the coffin?
On the lid of the coffin.
It looks flush. It looks like the lid just lays atop it, and yeah.
Could we take a pole and just try to scoot it off?
I would go for the rope plan. Try to pull the lid off the top with a rope from a safe distance. So
Also, when we plan on doing that, I would also suggest, just in case, I know if we're doing it on the way out, the noise is less of a concern, but also if we want to be extra safe, 2 of us can take our bedrolls and put it below where it might fall, and that way if it falls, it would hit the bedrolls and therefore be less likely to make noise.
that's a pretty good idea.
Like stacked cloth or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, while you guys are inspecting those coffins, I'm hanging back near the door, keeping an eye on this corpse, make sure it doesn't come back to life or something.
Good idea.
Yeah,
maybe 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖈𝖐𝖊𝖗, being a learned man, is familiar with these mushrooms.
I'm curious about them.
You get a sample for Ullman.
Yeah, I'm gonna slice
Um,
some off with my dagger.
You slice some off with your dagger. What do you do with it?
Put it in a little pouch.
He's got a Ziploc
How
bag.
do you do that?
Very gingerly with the edge of the dagger, I just drop it into the pouch.
He's got
Okay.
salad tongs.
So you didn't
Or,
actually
or like
touch
a butter knife, you know, you just like get a little little
All right.
pinch on the end.
Schmear. Okay, so I think I think if Ralston, you said you have rope, right?
Yep.
I have rope
Okay.
as well.
If Pelinal wants to take our bedrolls and lay it in front of this leftmost coffin, and Ralston wants to try to loop rope around the coffin, we can set ourselves up to pull it out of the alcove and then dash back through this door and make sure we're not getting gassed.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
I thought we were gonna wait until we were like on our way out of the dungeon to do it, so the noise was less of a concern.
The way I look at it, and as a group we can decide to do that, absolutely. The way I was looking at it is that if for some reason we need to beat a heated retreat, I would rather have already gotten this treasure than
I agree.
run
All right,
constantly on our way out, you know?
That's a fair point.
Okay, so
Sure. Anyone else have a bedroll?
so Finbar, let
Yeah,
me.
I do.
This is what I've heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. So you take bedrolls, you lay them on the floor next to the thing. You put rope on the lid, and then you're going to pull on the lid so that the lid falls on
Correct.
the bedrolls. Is that right?
We're
Yes.
trying to avoid it falling in general, but if it falls, the bedrolls are like a backup.
Okay.
For the noise.
So you do that. You connect a rope, put bedrolls, come out, you pull on it. The lid just slides off, and it's reasonably quiet through your precautions. The lid comes off. Nothing. There's not like a nothing like that from last time. Instead, you hear a groaning. Something, a hand wraps around the edge of the coffin and pulls itself up and out.
Okay. I
would-
holster my weapon and I pull out my sling.
All right. Roll for surprise, Finbar. Roll a d6.
Be a D6. 5.
5. All right, no problem. Let me find. Here we go. I have it right here. All right. Any spells? No? Okay. Roll a d6, Finbar. All right. Is
Hate
that...
to see it.
Yeah, okay. All right, it's going to go first. All right. It's going to move. It gets up to where NJ is. And then if anybody is moving or firing a missile, you can do so. However, if you fire a missile and you miss, you may hit NJ.
But I won't hit anyone, right? Because I'm the front.
You won't be able to.
Yeah, you can't
because you're
fire
too
a missile
close.
in melee range.
Oh.
And the zero will move into the front
Could I
line.
have would I have known that when I was trying to bring out my sling then? Could I have not had done that?
No, I mean, no. Finbar could have won initiative. It was a good
True.
decision, actually. Yeah. Okay, so is that everybody who would have moved? Very well. If you are, let's see, it's going to attack NJ.
Like that.
And it misses.
Bet you're lucky
so-
I got you that shield.
Yeah.
And all right, anyone attacking can do so.
How many
Can
hit
I-
dice does this creature have?
It has, let's see, 1 hit die, and the target is Ascending Armor Class 13.
Can I not use a missile weapon in melee, or is there like a penalty?
There's
or
no.
like...
You can switch. So I apologize. I'm sorry. You can just take out your other weapon. There's no switching.
Okay,
weapons,
okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
I hit it once for 5 points of damage.
You all smash this thing. Taking off its head, it clatters
I
to the
wouldn't even roll.
ground. What do you do
is
now?
Is there anything particularly valuable on it, or is all rusty, ancient weaponry and armor?
Let's see. There is nothing particularly of value on this thing.
What was it? It was just like using its hands, like it didn't have any weaponry.
Oh no, it has a rusty, old, huge blade, and some ruined, rusty armor.
Okay.
Anybody volunteer to go look in the coffin?
I'll do it. Sure.
All right. You look, and there's nothing of value in the coffin.
Would you guys like to repeat this procedure for the next coffin?
Yes, but we'll have to lift the lid off the bedrolls to free them, because I'm sure they're pinned under.
Yeah, no worries. We can replace the lid. Lickety split. The only reason that I feel like we need to do this procedure over and over again is I want to be careful about these traps, because when we triggered it literally just gassed somebody and he died right on the spot. So
Okay. So you go through the same procedure. It happens again.
I want to be in a position where I could throw a dart. Would that? Yeah, I could try that.
You're not surprised. Okay, I would say it's fair to say you're not surprised. However, roll a d6, Finbar. You got a 6. House wins. You are able to act first. Top of the round. Spells.
None.
Okay. Movement. If you're moving now, if someone moves up in this round, this is kind of like a ruling that we've made, and they get right to this monster, you can assume that you're launching your volley of missiles before that. So if you're firing a missile, you can do so. And your target, if you're firing a missile, is ascending armor class 13 to hit. So you can move and fire, but you have to do one or the other: move or fire a missile. No one moving? Anybody firing a missile?
I was just double checking my weight and distance.
I'll
if you're at
move
movement rate 9, you
close.
can move up to 30 feet.
So you're saying that if we fire a missile, it would be before the danger of them being in melee, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a battle where you have like a volley that goes off, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, one of those hit. I meant to roll it once. I'm learning Foundry. Sorry.
What's that all about?
Sorry.
Merdagian got something from some other place.
Well, he does have 3 darts. So.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
It's
All
a
right.
2d20 system.
Yeah. All right.
That's the thing.
Did anyone else moving? You can move your token. Did anybody hit ascending armor class 13? Go ahead and roll your damage and let me know what it is if you do.
I'm having a hard time moving.
This is just for
I'm gonna
missile
use
fire right now, correct?
I
Yeah.
could throw a javelin.
So to move, it's the top left. It says token controls, the little meeple. You will want to select that meeple to the top left, and then you'll want to select your
Okay.
token and then drag and move it.
Might as well. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna throw a javelin.
Close.
Oh, whoops.
All right. Did anybody hit and do damage with a missile weapon?
I did not.
All right.
I got 3 damage.
It 3 damage. Roger that. And it does not move. And melee attacks. If anybody's doing a melee attack, roll to hit and roll your damage. And okay. And okay. Whoa. Okay.
Ooh.
Whoa! I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
I hit it once for 2 damage.
You hit it once for 2 damage. You, let's see here. You chop off one of its arms. It's only got 1 arm now. Alright, it's going to attack Finbar. And it misses. Alright, roll a d6, Finbar. Oh, it's going to go first. It tries to attack Finbar again. Alright. And then if anybody is moving, you can do that now. If you fire a missile, you may end up hitting 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖊𝖗 or Finbar. But you can move. Yeah. Sounds good. And in melee, anyone in melee can go ahead and roll to hit. Target is 13. It hits. Alright, and hits.
I get 2 as well.
Who's the
Oh, is it 8?
Oh.
1, 8 hit. What's the hit dice on this one?
Yeah, it's 7. What's damage?
As 1 hit dice.
Okay, I get to go again.
Did 5 damage.
5 damage. NJ, you decapitate this one. Split it in 2. It shatters against the far wall, its face still moving a moment until something ethereal extinguishes from its eyes and stops moving. Okay. You wanna do this to the 3rd coffin?
Let's see if there's anything valuable on it first.
There is well, let me see.
Well, now, Ross, I just want to make you roll.
There is something valuable. Let me check.
Aren't we glad I checked?
Yes.
Always.
While he's doing this, I want to recount a story from earlier. We went and we fought a bunch of orcs in a different vault, and we came back the next week and fought another group of orcs in that same area, in that same vault, and we searched both groups, and turns out there was something like 2,000 gold coins across the 2 groups because we didn't search the first grouping.
Good gosh.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much nonsense some of these creatures can carry on them.
These are rich orcs.
Also, I have a suggestion for the 3rd coffin, or if we do something like this in the future. We should try to do it from further away, so it will take it longer to get to us if we lose initiative.
The other option I was thinking was we could do it from closer. One of us could be right up there and start stabbing it as it's trying to get out of its coffin. That would be the other suggestion.
Oh, that's
True.
true. We could definitely do that.
Ross, you got our treasure?
Yes. You find that within its coffin, it kept riches in a mint unknown to you, or 55 large, heavy golden coins.
Nice. Get that chainmail armor you wanted.
All right, so Finbar, what are you going to do? You said you're going to open the 3rd coffin, or you're going to surround it and just pound whatever comes out of it?
Yeah, I think we're expecting something to come out of it. So
Wait.
Okay.
We can't surround it though, because then if there's gas, then we get killed.
that's true. I think just based on the previous pattern, I'm willing to risk it. You guys don't have to, obviously.
No, I'll go with you.
Finbar's willing to.
I'll risk it.
I'll go.
Go with you.
All right.
I'm not.
No, that's all right. That's caution is the name of the game.
All right. I am going to say it's automatically surprised through your guile. I think that is what happens.
They don't call us the Guilesome 5 for nothing.
Sorry, what was in the other coffin too? I want to write it down.
50 gold pieces worth of 50 gold coins.
15 gold coins. Okay.
50.
Oh,
50.
50. Oh wow. Okay.
50.
That's pretty good.
This thing is automatically surprised, so you can fire missiles at it, cast spells at it, Will not cast a spell, but you can fire missiles at it and attack it. Its target is 13.
Melee attack it. I get 2. It's 1 hit dice creature.
And
I
I hit it for
sorry,
6.
last time I asked, what was on the other body too? I didn't write that one down either.
Yeah. I
Mess
hit it
around
for
with my
6.
camera.
There is nothing else on the other body or the coffin.
I hit it for 5.
All right.
I darted it for 1.
You shatter this thing as it even tries to climb out. Just having prepared for it, you destroy this thing. It lay in pieces within its coffin.
Rip in peace, bozo.
Wasn't there something on the second body?
Nope, he just recounted what was in the coffin, not on the body.
Oh, okay. So only the coffin so far, basically. It's the only loot.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
The first coffin was bare. The second coffin, Ross?
Oh, you checked the second coffin, do you?
Or sorry, the third coffin.
The third coffin?
One we just
Yeah.
crushed.
Yeah.
All right. You find within quite a few things. Are you ready to copy, Treasurer?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just not ready the first time because
Oh,
I
that's
was
fine.
messing with my camera.
Yeah. There are 28 large gold pieces in a strange mint. There are also in a strange mint 32 silver pennies, and in tiny mites that are strangely dense, you find 7. Well, let me make sure I have this right. 70 copper pennies, and that is it.
What were we saying? Mites?
Yeah, like little thick, tiny pennies.
Okay. So 32 silver, 70 copper. Got it. And 28 gold besides the 50.
Something to consider. We may want to bring these to somebody who might value them greater than they would as regular currency, considering these
Sure.
might be considered historical artifacts.
Yeah, like a
True.
collector or something.
Yeah, something to that effect. Museum, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, we can
And then
try it.
And then, Ross, was there anything else in this room that we haven't made note of besides the 3 coffins, bodies contained, and this guy full of fungus?
No, other than this alcove in the southern part of the room.
Is there anything anybody wanted to do as far as searching the room, looking around, seeing if there's hidden traps or secret doors or anything like that?
No.
No.
I don't think it's worth the time expenditure.
I agree. So, John, you're sort of our resident elder wisdom. Anything?
Yes.
I was just going to ask if you had any other thoughts on searching this room or just moving on.
Oh, I think we should move along.
We're going to come down to the alcove here, and since we are no longer in a place that any of us are familiar, I'd like to check this intersection here to see if there's any pit traps or anything. Does anybody have a 10-foot pole?
I do.
Would you mind tapping around in this little intersection for us?
Yep. I'll tap around with my pole.
Okay.
What the heck? Did I just... It just copied my token and teleported me. What the heck?
Foundry's a little bit screwy sometimes like that.
You see that on the left? Is it?
No, I think I don't know exactly why it does that, but that's a you problem. Sorry.
Oh, it says hireling. That's weird. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so you come up to this alcove. You can see in a room on the other side is a giant statue, 20 feet high, of a hideous snake man god, resembling a cross between a toad, a heap of intestines, and a melted candle. Water leaks into the tomb among the eroded floor around it at its bottom. You said you used the 10-foot pole. Where and how?
Yeah, I'll poke around where you see the You said there was a corrosion from the water.
You poke around the floor where the water is, and your
Yeah.
10-foot pole goes down. It goes down 3/4 of its length, and part of it, you can tell, goes into dry air below.
That's almost 7.5 feet.
Did you say what did you say the statue was made of?
It's made of what looks like it's carved of stone.
And the skeletons that were in the coffins, they were humanoid?
Yes, those were humanoid. They were humanoid, yes. They looked like humans.
𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖊𝖗, would you mind tapping on the statue for us to see if it's hollow?
Sure. Yeah, I'll tap on it with the pole.
It is. It belies its size with its weight. It is apparently much lighter than it seems.
Hmm.
Good call.
I reckon we should try
Try to break it.
Either punch a hole in the bottom or at least rattle it around and see if there's anything inside of it.
Can we all right, so I guess I'll just poke on it a little harder to see.
Yeah, if he pushes against it,
Does
is
it
that going to
move?
tilt it or move it in any way, or is it heavier than that?
It does. It causes it to scrape across the floor away. You can see a cavity beneath it.
Oh wow.
Well, I reckon we move it and see if and peek down there with the lantern. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a
Yeah.
plan.
All right, can you do that with the pole though, just so you know, if stuff
Dude.
starts, if pit traps start opening, we're not standing
What
right
do you
next to it.
what with the pole?
Push it all the way across with the pole instead of with your hands.
Oh, the statue. Yeah.
Mhm.
Get it out of the way. Open up this hole.
Sorry, Russ. That's 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖊𝖗 is going to push the statue all the way against the wall with the pole.
You push it against the wall, revealing an open cavity into a passage below.
What's the method of descent? Is it just open into a hole, or is there a ladder or stairs?
It's like rocky, and then it kind of drops off for about 3.5 feet, and then it's another stone floor. And it resumes a corridor that is again 10 feet wide and 15 feet tall.
Finbar, may I ask you something?
Sir, how can I help?
Now, this is a tomb of Serpent Kings, is it not? Yes?
We have found a couple of creatures which can be serpents and/or kings. Yes.
Well, I'm rather nervous about serpents, so I think we should go cautiously into this dark hole.
I'm inclined to agree.
Definitely.
Um,
Dude, I think do we have an easy can we
yeah. What is
somehow
what it?
make an
what-
easy way to get back up?
Yeah. How difficult would it be to climb back up here?
It would
You said
not
it's
be.
about.
Yeah,
would
it's-
not be difficult.
It's a clamber. It inclines along rough stone down about 10 feet, about 13 feet, and then it drops off just half the height of a man, and then it turns into a stone corridor.
Not that hard.
All right, so we can just climb up it on the way out.
Yeah.
And then from the back of this corridor to the entrance of this apparent opening here, how far is that?
This is probably true laterally. It's 15 feet this way, and it probably goes a total of 20 feet down. I don't know what the hypotenuse of that is.
Okay, all right.
Question for you guys. Wait, so you said we have to climb down this, but it's an easy climb?
Yes.
Okay. My suggestion is we take those coffin lids and we stack them at the bottom. Like we maneuver them, and that way if we have to escape quickly, like you had suggested before being a concern, then it should be way easier to climb that in like basically like a half leap instead of like a full like pull up kind of motion.
It's gonna, if there's coffin lids or even like enough to support our weight. They're not
Well, I'm
running
just saying,
out.
like they're stone and the width of them stacked on top. I mean, should be easy
That's
for just
true.
a
That's
step.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Is that doable, Ross?
What's
Are we in-
what's your intention? What are you trying to do?
We just basically like use the 3 coffin lids and like kind of like us maneuver them down to the floor down there, like the part we're climbing to, and that way it's less gap between like clambering down. So if we have to leave quickly,
Oh,
we don't have to pull ourselves up as like
you
with
won't.
ev-
You would not need to do that to leave quickly. This does not even hinder your movement.
Okay. So it's not necessary basically. Okay.
Good thought, though. So we can see into this open space. I like to cautiously move up to the opening here and look around into this greater space.
You see here a hall, a long, wide corridor. 6 huge statues, 15 foot tall, all the way up to the ceilings, each. Heavily armed and armored snake men loom over the hall, glaring at you. One of them is slightly out of alignment on the wall on the north side, and this hallway continues on into the darkness. You hear nothing. You can smell the faint smell of that rotten fungus from the previous room. It seems to overpower any other potential smell other than the caked dust of the air. The air is stale. It seems like it hasn't really moved in a long time.
So I'd just like to make a note that we're making patterns, right? We're identifying a pattern of more than one of the same smell. You said how tall are these statues?
15 feet, floor to ceiling.
Okay. And if our good friend Nazir were to tap on them, would they be hollow?
Yeah, they appear to be hollow, though slightly heavier than the previous ones. But they do seem movable as well.
Okay, well, I think we ought to move the off-centered one and see if there's anything hiding behind it.
Okay, who does that?
Finbar will go ahead and take that one.
All right, you take with your hands and you move it off to the side?
Yes.
You do so, and you reveal a disused passage just behind it. At the end of the passage, you can see another room. From where you are, you cannot tell what is within.
All right, I think we ought to take the secret passage because things that are hidden have less of a chance to have already been looted.
Yep.
So I think we're going to walk up to the entrance of that next room.
Okay. Oh boy.
One.
Hold on. Finbar, roll a d6.
Yes, sir. That is a 4.
As you move this statue, and you can tell it was already kind of catty-cornered. Move it out of the way, it slides across the floor. You're discussing with each other what you're telling each other, hey, we're gonna go up here. And just as you start to move the lantern light, this whole time the lantern light, you have these long shadows that you're casting on the walls, making you seem long and thin up against the ceiling. Almost like long pencil marks extending off into the darkness. And then you see one dart, a shadow, across from here. You hear hushed whispering, "Be quiet."
I make a hand signal that's like a snake head. I do like my fingers with like that, and I go like that instead of talking.
We're doing shadow puppets now? Excellent.
I'm doing the SEAL Team 6.
I think it's reasonable to assume that we would form up with our frontliners facing this hallway, and then Finbar would like to call out.
All right.
Sounds good.
You form up with your frontliners facing that way. You call out, and they say, "Don't come in here. We'll slay you if you come in."
Who goes there?
You haven't heard of the Gilded Shield? Best you not find out. Go seek another room.
Why? What's back there? What you got?
None of your concern. Leave this place at once. There are a dozen of us.
Uh-huh.
I'm not buying any of this.
Press X to doubt.
I tend to like to do my negotiation face to face.
Let's go, Finbar.
Come no
Well,
closer
yes,
or we
I
fire.
We're gonna
I say
step
how-
forward.
I say out loud, we're at the end of the hall. You go at the end of the hall
Go
and meet
yourself.
us face to face.
We shall
Well,
I
not.
know
talk to
there-
us like-
Just so you know, there are 24 of us.
Come out
Well,
and talk to us like men.
we are well defended and this place is trapped. You come here at your folly. Stay away. And they stay in the shadows.
Come out and talk to us like men.
This all creates
you-
noise.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
boy.
sure it does.
Right?
I say quietly behind me to Finbar. I say, let's move back, and if something approaches, let them be the first to deal with it, and we can.
Let me try one more thing.
Sure.
Are you from Eric Brania, or any of the kingdoms of the Lioness?
Where else would we be from than the 12 kingdoms? Fool?
Well, you may know us as the Vaultbreakers, the great slayers of the Orcan horde.
You hear some whispering, and they say, "We'll make you this deal. Travel on, leave us be, and we will not follow you, and we will not report your presence here."
Report to whom?
The dungeon
Who?
police?
Dungeon police.
I'll have you know that we have carte blanche from the city of Eric Brania to loot the temples on the island, which I'm to understand not everybody has, perhaps including the Gilded Shield.
Let us
Maybe
see your
we ought
badge.
to report you.
Mm-hmm.
Let us see your badges.
Yeah, reveal yourself.
A different voice says, "You promise not to harm us?"
Why would he harm you? We're
And
good
then you
friends.
hear whispering, "Shut up, be silent, fool."
I say we serve the light. Do you?
No.
It's too
No,
late.
we-
He says that.
I should have told
And
him.
then they start whispering, harshly amongst each other, and then they get into the corner, and then the one dominant kind of high-pitched voice among them again says, "Enter into this corridor and we fire, and our traps are ready. Do not come here." And it doesn't seem like they seem reticent.
Curses.
Stillman.
I should have
Listen-
informed our new friends that they don't really like the light here. Not a fan.
Listen to me. I am a great conjurer from Albion. I have no compunction about turning you into newts. Come forth and leave at once.
They
Maybe we
don't
should
seem
tell
like they're
them we're the
moving.
dungeon police. Maybe we should tell them we're the dungeon police.
All right. One last thing. Can we do the thing where we make our footsteps quiet as we walk away and hide around the corner?
What's your intent with that? What are you going to try to do?
That was mostly a joke. I think that these guys are mostly harmless, and they probably have some treasure back there. I think if we walk away and probably and reclose this corridor for the most part, we probably don't want to trap them in there. But if we get out of here and move on, we'll probably find deeper riches where they're too cowardly to go. I'm of the opinion, as a good boy follower of the light, that we probably shouldn't rush in there and kill these guys.
Of course not. But
That would be
I just
chaotic.
having them at our back as well.
I call out to them. Well, if we leave this place, if we leave you be and go further in, we're not going to expect anybody stabbing us in the back, right?
Of course not. By our word.
Well, all right. Enjoy whatever treasure you found before us. Fair game.
All right, what do you do next?
All right, we're gonna come back out into the main room here. Slide the thing like halfway, just as like we're closing the door on a rail.
Wait a second. If we came in here through a secret passage under a statue, and we had to move a statue out of the way to
I
get
was
in
thinking
there,
that as well.
how did they get in here and have the statue on top of the entry
Yep.
to here? That doesn't make any
Good
sense.
point.
They would have to be from here to be in here without that statue being moved.
Alternatively,
Are they
there
just
is an
hanging out
alternate
in there?
entrance into this particular Duero, which I think is not unrealistic. From where I'm from in Albion, there are, so far as I can tell, at least 3 entrances into 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗, spanning a great deal of space. So it's not super unrealistic that there's several entrances. I'm assuming we go deeper in. There may be.
I have a concern. I would agree to their terms if one of them will reveal themselves to us. Because how do we know they're not snake men or weird chaos cultists or something like that, and they're just tricking us until we go further, and then they trap us and ambush us with someone else?
I don't
kinda
think
like to get eyes on them too.
I don't think the vast majority speak. I don't think many monsters would speak Woldish, the common tongue. And certainly, just the way that they reacted upon being told that we were the Vaultbreakers, we're from 𝕬𝖃𝖏𝖼. They said they're from 𝕬𝖃𝖏𝖏. I'm willing to not necessarily trust them, but I don't see them. If they were really a threat, or they thought they might have been able to take us, I think they probably would have rushed us. I think we just call it what is it? Call it a zero-sum game and say, "Oh, your bluff worked. Oh, you guys did it," and then like just leave them alone. I think they're more trouble than they're worth, and I don't want to risk taking damage. I don't want to kill any innocents.
I don't want to fight them. I just want to see one.
Right.
Serpents are renowned for their cunning. How do we know these aren't some serpent cultists that are used to the ways of 𝕬𝖃𝖏𝖏?
Well, based off of the I don't know, the region, this is a pretty much long unopened tomb for the most part. The way we came in. Now we don't know the way they came in, or even if so, like if they've been here. I don't know. I mean, I guess we can fully close the door and then listen. If it starts scraping, we can whip around.
I mean, I either want to block the door or I want to see one of them, because here's the thing, right? Like, if they came in through another entrance, how did they travel so far only to end up in this room right near the entrance we took? If they took another entrance, presumably it's going to be far away from this entrance. And
The only
again, the
thing-
statue was
I think-
moved on top of the way in here. So,
I think we should move along. We might be attracting untoward attention.
Bro,
Good point.
let's get out of here.
all right.
I kind of agree, though. Maybe we should just go ahead and shut the statue flush like it was, or put it back to where it was.
Yeah, that's what I figured we would do when I
Okay.
said move it back. Just move it back to like how it was. Do any of these other statues shift or move at all?
They move. You take a look behind them. There's not any kind of like false coverings or passages behind them, though, and there's nothing
That's
under
what I
them.
figured. When we get back to town, maybe we should talk to the Watchers and see if there's another party adventuring out here, because I don't think anybody wants there to be a misunderstanding and two groups of adventurers fighting amongst each other, if at all avoidable. Anyway,
What did they say their name was again, too? The Gilded Coin?
the Gilded Shield.
Gilded Shield, okay.
By the way, we're the Vaultbreakers.
Gotcha.
just so you know. And if we come across anybody else in 𝕬𝖃𝖏𝖏 or from 𝕬𝖃𝖏𝖏, don't talk about the light. They don't like that.
Yeah, I got it now.
I totally should have told you guys that. Oh, that sucks. Anyway,
I thought we were the Guileful Five.
They're like the
I'm
bush
just
league.
I'm just making up names, you know.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
These guys are like the bush league.
Yeah. We're not gatekeepers to adventuring. All right. Let's move on to the where it widens out here.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh boy.
You see here, the hallway opens into a large octagonal chamber. It's ringed with glaring snakemen statues like the other hallways. Some carry weapons, others implements of agriculture, others clearly implements of torture, some devices alien to you. The doors that surround this place, of which there are many, I'm going to move you a little bit further in. Basically, at each facing of this octagonal chamber, there is a door, except in the southwest, there is a hall, or an alcove, you're not sure. The eastern edge of this chamber is off in the darkness. It's at the edge of your lantern light, 60 feet off in the distance. There is, let's see. Let me see here. From where you are... the other thing that you can see is water trickling. Yeah, trickling from the ceiling onto the surface. It's filled a pit in the center of the room with a dark, oily water. The smell in the air is something like licorice.
You want a drink?
No, thank you. Does anybody have any opinion on which way we should go?
I say straight down the hallway.
You say just all right.
Try what's closer to us because we want to know if there's danger at our backs as we proceed forward.
Russ,
go
is this
forward.
an open hallway or an opened door?
Well, there's no door here, but you can't tell
Okay.
if this is a hallway or an alcove, but it's some kind of
Sure.
open space. Yeah, from where you are, you can't tell.
Well, I tell you what. Why don't we walk down to here and shine the light into that thing, just to identify, get a little more
Sure.
information there.
Yeah, and at the water, like, is that a pool
Yeah.
from a leak, or is it meant to be a font or something?
Moving further into the room reveals three things. On the far eastern wall is another door. This door is stone, but it's much more ornately carved than the others. It shows snake people in the throes of pleasure, passion, and dancing.
Gross.
The black, oily water that's pooled here has this bitter/sweet smell coming up from it. It's oily and black. As the light is cast on it, it seems impenetrable. You can't seem to see what's in it. And I just want to make sure you said that you move here so that you can see here, right?
Correct.
Roll a d6.
What was in the center of the room again? What is that?
A pool of
of-
water.
Full of stagnant water.
It's a 2.
Black, nasty water.
Hold on.
Uh-oh, the music's changing.
Always good when it does that.
There could be
Alright.
something in that water as well. If if this is a place controlled by serpent men, perhaps serpentine beasts or thralls of some kind. Perhaps we should throw a
Something coming out.
stone in there just to see what happens if disturbed.
Looking at it on the
Maybe.
map, it does appear that things are arising from it.
Yeah.
The oil starts to shimmer and something leaps out of it, like two things that look like oily, black, slimy spiders that start ambling their way like this towards you. Roll a, declare any spells.
don't think we need to
No
use
spells. Okay. Roll a d6 for initiative. Finbar.
A 4.
A 4.
Or sorry, I got a 5. You got a 4. Well,
Nice. You are able to act first. You may move your token and fire missiles if you wish. Your target is ascending armor class. Let me make sure here. 10.
I'll use a missile.
I got
I'll fire
2
miss-
hits.
I'll fire a missile.
I don't have a token for this, so I have to make my own. Just let me know the damage that you get with your missiles.
12. Nope.
And anyone doing a melee attack can go ahead and roll the melee attack as well. Your target is 10.
I just rolled a
Okay.
missile, so I might as well roll a melee attack.
I got 2 hits for 6 damage on this
You
guy.
can only do one or the other. If
Okay, my bad, my
if you
bad.
fire a missile, you
Okay.
just fire a missile. However, if you're using a short bow, you can fire twice. I don't know. Maybe you already know
No,
that.
I'm using javelins.
Ah, yeah, that's
Hit
just
for
once.
8 and a 6, it looks like.
8 and 6 damage.
Yep.
All right. You impale one of these things on the side of the stone with your blows. What weapon were you using?
Bastard sword.
You stab this thing with your bastard sword. It impales it like a grotesque shish kebab. It just it's literally stuck on like a third of the way down your big sword now. And you realize this is no spider, but as the oil drips off of it, it's an old hand. And did anybody else do damage?
I hit this one for 6 damage.
All right, you do 6 damage to this. You hear an ethereal squealing sound come from it. Is that all the damage? I've got damage from 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆 and from Finbar. Anybody else?
Oh wait, it said was 10 for its armor class.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have hit it a 3rd time actually. There we go. That's 11 damage total.
Ah, okay. In that case,
I misunderstood the rolling mechanics.
I didn't ask if it was 1 hit dice as well.
it's 2. It's
Oh.
2 hit dice.
I guess I hit it once because
Oh,
I
I
only
assumed
hit it
okay.
once.
That's on me.
Okay. All
That
right.
would be on me.
It you strike this thing. It squeals. Some of its digits fly off. It flies up into the air, Finbar, and reaches around your throat. It's got a +2. Does a 18 hit?
No, I have an armor class of 19.
You're able to rip this thing off of your throat. It leaves marks from your armor. The oily residue is left. You throw it back on the ground. It shivers like a spider and then leaps back up and starts crawling back towards you again. Roll a d6 for initiative. All right, House wins. You are able to attack again. Anybody that wants to move can move up to attack it in melee as well.
Oh well.
Roll to hit and damage. Target's 10.
I hit it for 7.
Hit it for 2.
I hit him.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. That's Ralston.
Points.
You hack this thing apart
My spear,
and it stops moving.
or pole arm rather.
2 damage.
Just as a note, Nuke, you're listed as private roles instead of public roles, so we can't see your
Oh.
actual numbers.
Oops. How do I change that? Oh, I see it.
Just change the little tab. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, these things are destroyed. They lay upon the ground now.
Is there some of the residue on the ground outside of the pit here?
Yes.
Can I lean down and sniff it to see if it's actually water or oil or some other substance?
It smells wrong, like some sort of chemical, like licorice, like candy.
Okay.
Ugh.
Wonder if the water is flammable.
That's what I was saying. If it was actually oil, we could try to burn it out. Although that actually tends to take a long time with this much oil.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And it could
I
put it
kind
out.
of, want to. 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆, do you want to see how deep it is with your 10-foot pole for us?
Sure, I'll take the pole out and see how far it goes down.
I've smelled strange scents in a mortuary before, with the preparation of the fallen in service to temples. And those substances they use, I'm not sure how they work, but they do have strange smells, and I believe they are harmful. So perhaps this is some sort of poison. We must be careful of it, especially considering that these hands came from it. They
Right.
appear to be from dead men.
Right. Well, let's see how deep it is.
Okay. You put your pole in. The pole is slimed along its length with that ichor. And when you pull it back out, it's 10 feet deep. It goes all the way down to the edge of the pole. As you move it in and move it around, you see something down within the pool. Something shiny. Many shiny things glimmering at the bottom of the pool.
Anybody want to jump in the pool?
I'm good.
Here's something I'd like to do. Finbar takes his sword and cuts a lock off of his hair and dips it into the water to see if it dissolves some sort of organic compound.
You dip your hair into the water and then look at it, and your hair wilts as if it is aged by decades.
Does anybody have, I know in Swords and Wizardry, one of the things you can purchase is a fishing net. Does anybody have anything that might be able to dredge up? I assume not. I don't really want to go spelunking into hair-wiltingly chemicals.
I have an idea, but
I like my hair.
we might have to test something for it, but I believe we should test metal and wood to see how they're affected. And
We
if
already
they're
tested
not,
wood.
we did
my,
test
my
wood.
pole is metal.
The pole's metal, or is it wood? I thought it was wood.
Oh, I don't know. Are they wood?
It's
I
wood.
just know it's wood.
It's wood, and it doesn't like burn it, singe it, decay it. The wood is fine.
If I take one of my hairs and I touch it to the wood that was in the liquid.
Same thing happens. Eventually, your hair wilts.
You know,
See, the
I'm gonna risk my crowbar. I'm gonna dip my crowbar in there and see if it damages the metal.
You dip the crowbar in, take a look at it. It does not damage the crowbar.
Okay. John, Murdagi wouldn't happen to have any spells that can retrieve things in any way. That's a long shot, I know, but
No, unfortunately.
I know something that would work, but the
Okay.
problem is it won't be safe to touch afterwards. And my idea is if we take a shield and we tie a rope to it, what we could do is we could literally maneuver it from 2 points of contact, push it underneath with the crowbar, and then lift it up, and then it'll basically act as like a
I mean,
a
the pool is
dredge, I
10
guess.
foot deep, so that would be kind of tough to.
Well,
I mean, we have ropes, I guess.
I'll clarify that. So you can create a, what do they call these things? Rube.
Rube Goldberg?
Rube Goldberg. Okay, so you can create a Rube Goldberg, and this is sensible that you could do it with a shield and ropes and multiple people and poles, and you could do something where you can slide and then have the ropes and try to raise it up and do it slowly. The primary currency for this will be time. Obviously, you're going to do it safely. You're going to be very careful. You're not going to touch it, but it's going to take you. I'm going to say, it's going to take you probably 30 minutes, I'm going to say, to do that.
Okay, so why don't...
That's about 3 rolls.
The problem with that too, though, and besides just time, is if I put my shield in there, I can't use that shield anymore because just touching a hair to something that's been in it is gonna be coated in it. You know what I mean? So I'd have to basically
Yeah.
leave that here afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving up my shield.
I mean,
I'll give up my shield for it.
Well, why don't we wait? Why don't we come back to it? And if we're on our way out, we're not running away, then
Yeah,
we could do it. And if it ends up being something that's relatively low value, the first of that value before the split share goes to reimbursing the cost of
And
the shield.
perhaps we can find a shield laying around that we can just use.
True. Or that.
I never like leaving behind treasure that just takes some ingenuity to get at.
Yeah, and
Eddie, John, do you guys have any thoughts?
One thing I want to note here,
No.
NJ, is just that the way this works is essentially if you come up to 11:15 or 11:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll say you're exhausted. So you won't be going back through from that point. Now you can do that though, right? Like you can say, hey, we're running out of time and keep track of it and then make sure you get back. But just so you know, you won't be coming back through if you don't intentionally do so. So
Yeah, we use a Pokemon escape rope and we just jet out of there.
So would we, since it would take a half hour, would we have to do it a half hour? Would we have to do it basically right now because before 11:15, or could we do it at like 11:10?
yeah, you could do it at 11:10. That's right.
Okay, so we'll keep
You,
it in
you
mind.
could
for
do it at
11:10.
11:10. Yeah, if you wanted to.
And worst case scenario, if we can't do it this time, we could always. It's pretty safe where it is, right? So we could always come back next
Just
time.
as you
with,
say
like,
that, you hear something.
a plank of wood next time.
Hey, our friends.
You hear like a sliding, and then a clop, 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 clop in the darkness.
All right.
Let's use their shields.
That was them exiting.
Sounds like those guys are coming from down the hall.
I would suggest that we go.
The footsteps were
watch
going
them-
away from you. Go ahead.
Oh,
Let's watch
they're
them
going-
leave
They're
because
trying to get out of here.
what if they push the statue back on top of the thing that we use? Let's go.
Yeah, let's roll.
Yeah, good
So
point.
you go back I just want to make sure the intention is to go back to check the statue.
Yeah, if everyone's okay with it, basically.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah, I
think, Finbar?
Good idea.
I mean, it sounds like more than half the party here wants to go do that. I say will of
Whoops.
the people, Vox Populi.
Well, what are you thinking, Vinbar?
I was thinking we could set up and watch down these ways, do a Rube Goldberg machine, and move on. I don't ever like leaving.
Well, that
potential
statue was
treasure.
light, so even if they put it over, we can just push it away.
I assume they're leaving with the treasure that they had. I assume that
Put
they're
it
like.
over from underneath, though. That's my concern.
Yeah, they might do something to block it.
Yeah, we should cover our escape. We should do it fast too.
Yeah,
We
it's
should- we
it's
should
fine.
move.
So all right. So this the price here is time and distance. So All right, it takes you 20 minutes to check on this. You are confident of two things. You're confident that they did leave that way, like they left the way you came. It seems like maybe they were watching you, and that when you came in, and it's true that they were not able to block your path out. You're pretty confident you can get out. Now,
Okay.
20 minutes passes.
Mhm.
Did they try to block our path?
If they did, they failed utterly. They either weren't able to, or they did not at all. One of those two things.
Okay,
Now-
they didn't even try.
20 minutes passes, and you hear. So you come back to the oily pit, and you're about to hatch your plan to either do the machine and try to figure out how to get this stuff out and take time, or you're going to move on, come back, whatever. You get back into this room, and you hear around you echoing from down this corridor, the other side of this door, seemingly from the ceiling, you think even from the walls. You hear like chittering and giggling and the licking of lips.
Oh my
Oh, I
god.
don't like that. Oh,
This is disturbing.
oh, girl, no.
And you smell that smell again that you smelled when you came in on that skeleton.
Oh my god.
Ooh, that
Fungus
smell.
smell?
No, can you smell that smell?
We also don't have licensing for that, so.
Yes, we do.
I think.
I might get banned in Russia again,
Right.
which is a
I
thing.
think-
Yeah.
we'll come back to this if we have the time. I think we go down this hallway. The more we stand around here, the more we get giggling, gibbering creatures coming rushing at us from multiple angles. We're like a shark. We swim forward. We never stay in one place very long, or we stop breathing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All right.
Keep it
I
moving.
hope we don't get trapped in this corridor, but let's go.
Nah, they can't trap us. We're the Vaultbreakers.
That's right.
Okay. This is a small corridor with a room that's about 40 feet by 20 feet north to south. And there's a group of 18 clay statues of life-size snake men warriors in 3 rows of 6 in this room. The swords are rusted, long made useless by time. You can tell that these are also hollow statues. It looks like these statues on the far end also have been moved. 4 of them have.
I think that it would take so much time to search. Are these like canoptic jars? Like, do they have like a head can twist off?
The heads don't twist off, but you find that they're fairly light and they seem to be made of earthenware.
If I shake one, does anything rattle around in it?
Nope.
I don't know if I want to spend enough time look through all these.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother.
I want to push through, coming down here and moving some of the ones that look like they've been moved.
Okay, you go to the corner where it looks like they've been moved, and you move them out of the way, and you find another path hidden behind them.
I think we should go down this path.
I agree.
This is also a short corridor, yeah, and you can see that there is another false wall on the far end of this short corridor.
A false wall? Do you mean like the back of one of these statues that we would have to move?
Yeah,
Perchance?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's go move that and see what's on the other side. Peek around, you know.
All right. Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to listen at it first?
I don't know, like listen at it, or like listen at it as in take 10 minutes to do the thing. We don't have anybody who specializes in that, and I think that personally, I think whatever might be on the other end, we can take or run.
I don't want to take 10 minutes to listen to it. But...
Is there anything like loud clanging or like playing the banjo on the other side here?
No, do you want to listen at it and take 10 minutes?
I don't think we want to take the 10 minutes to listen at it.
Very well. You move this. And you move on to the other side, and I will describe this. You move it, and on the other side is a large chamber. It's filled with broken pillars, 8 of which in total, 2 rows along each side of the large hall. The ceiling here is lost in darkness, going high up ahead. But you see movement. You think, you hope, bats. The floor is littered with broken statue pieces, other pottery, stone, and metal. There are incredibly lifelike carved stone bats. And then, among the debris, stone spiders? Stone goblin things? Finbar, roll a d6.
Yeah.
I think
I got a 6.
A 6. You hear growling, snorting in the darkness as something huge, a massive shadow, canvases the far wall. Whoa. It looms. It is a thing probably 15 feet high, except that it is on haunches of some kind, and it starts coming from the other side of this pillar. It notices you.
All right. Nobody look at this thing.
If you don't
Not
look
its
at it,
eyes,
what do you
anyway.
do?
We should
Um,
retreat.
I think we can at least take a step back into this hallway.
Why not retreat to the end of the hallway? Because at least we have time to see it and then decide if we want to retreat further. And if we want to fight, we're at least in a tactical position.
I
Like the
think if we go halfway into the hallway, we'll force it into a choke point here.
You have 5
Exactly.
seconds to decide.
Yep, we're going
Yeah,
halfway into the hallway
Okay.
for now.
Going back.
This thing,
Hooray.
you hear it. The sounds of many feet, as if like a centipede, a thing that maybe has 3, 4, or 5 feet on each side. This thing is shaking the ground, coming towards you. It comes toward the light, and all of a sudden, then you hear chink, the sound of metal on metal, as it snaps to in a mighty chain that seems to bind it. It snaps from the chain. You can hear snapping, snarling, stomping.
Huh. A contained creature in a great room.
Yeah, that's
well, not
There's
contained anymore.
there's something good in here. I bet.
Hey, 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆, what sort of spells do you have? Do you have access to magic missile?
He's got a whole portal.
Yes, that's correct.
Is it just hold portal?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, the classic move is to try to burn it out, right?
Yep.
How much oil do we have?
This
Anybody
is
got oil?
making noise.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't have
sure it
any.
is. Can we close this?
You want to put the statues back in place?
For the time being,
Let's
just
leave
so
just
that
enough to see, so we at least we could see what it is as it. You know what I mean? We'll know if it's like right next to the door.
I'm thinking we
big.
don't want to see what this is. I think we want to try to avert our eyes at all costs.
Yeah, it's big.
It's big. It's scary. I think that we have the advantage while it's constrained, while it's chained up. I think the only thing I'm wondering and taking see what your guys' opinions are. How would we go about throwing oil and fire at this thing without looking at it? That makes sense.
Anyone,
Why are we-
anyone have a? s- Anyone
Why
have
are
a
we
sling?
not looking at it? Is what I'm wondering.
I'm willing to bet that this is some sort of Medusa or basilisk or cockatrice, which has the capability of turning you to stone if you look at its eyes. I don't know exactly which of these are in this system to be metagamey about it.
More stomping, more grinding. The chain upon chain, metal grinding, rusty metal on rusty metal. Go ahead.
I think the only other thing is we wait for it to snap its chain. All the frontline fighters put our shields up and our eyes behind it, and then we just blindly stab at it as it tries to hit us in this hallway.
Why don't we look toward the ground near it at an angle so we could at least see like what its feet look like instead of meeting its gaze? You know what I'm
sir,
saying?
are welcome to do so.
Do you want to do that?
Be my guest.
Is it coming? Do we hear it coming toward us? Like, because we heard a chain snap. So
we
I'm
heard
wondering-
pulling at its chain. The chain is like snapping taut. You
Oh,
know?
he's saying it's snapping taut.
Yeah,
It, didn't,
it
break.
clearly sounds like there's a chain connecting this thing, metal upon metal, and it's
All right,
scraping
so-
across the floor and trying to pull against this binding.
If everyone's willing to accommodate it, I guess I'll take the risk of what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to the corner. I'm gonna hold my shield up, right? So I'm not looking at an upward angle, and I'm looking below it. So like I'm physically incapable of looking at like an eye level or a high level since it's taller.
I get what you're saying. You get down next to it, you hold this up as a visor, you look at its feet. You do that. You see great scaly feet. In fact, you slip. You're able to see its body. Let me show you. It looks like this. Um,
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Okay, I'm out. I get back immediately as soon as I see body.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like, close the door, close the door.
Close the door.
I don't.
okay.
I don't. I don't
Yeah.
want to back out of here, but what I'm thinking is, there are so many other rooms to go. I think we close up these statues and go through a different door.
I describe what I saw
I
to
second
you
Yeah.
that idea.
quietly as we're
I
moving.
just don't think we feel confident enough to take this thing.
No.
That there's so much more to explore here that it's not like whatever's in there is the only thing we have to loot, you know. So I say we go back out into the octagonal room and go through one of these 6 other options.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm with it. Let's go.
All right. We're gonna do starting 1 and 6.
Sounds good.
We're gonna go through door number 1. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies.
Mhm.
Can you ping the door?
This one here.
Okay, that is a regular door. There's another 20 feet.
Oh, you said one of them was more intricate than the others, right?
That was this one. Oh,
That's okay.
did I do that? I didn't do that, did I?
Yeah. These
I'm
things.
sorry.
That's okay.
I was trying to.
Yeah,
do
you were
that.
trying to ping it. I get you. Okay, so these doors, it's a stone door and it has a handle. What do you do?
Finbar will open the door.
Okay. You open the door.
Yeah, I guess we can go in there.
Um. All right, you open the door. What you said? You go in?
Yeah.
All right. You get this far. Everyone save. If you're a fighter, you get a bonus versus spells.
Oh gosh. Wait,
Alright.
is it fighters get a bonus or fighters don't get a bonus?
Oh wait, that's right. Fighters don't get a bonus. Yeah.
we have had this.
You save.
discussion.
You get a bonus for everything but spells. That's what it is.
Yeah.
God.
I got a 15.
What is my save? My save is.
Oh my god, yes.
So you have to roll above your save.
I did.
Whew. Phew.
Well, if anybody
Yes.
fails, let me know.
Yes. Made it.
Yeah, I did not make it
Uh-oh.
because you have to roll over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at or
Sure.
above, right?
add it
Better
above.
be.
Wait, you're a wizard? You get a bonus to
He's
spells.
a magic user.
Yeah, but I rolled a 10 and I got to have a 14.
Ooh.
Okay, so you all head into this hallway. You literally feel a section of the floor depress, and then a portion of the wall falls away on the far end, and it reveals a disc. That disc vibrates, it glows, and 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆, you've seen this glow before. You've seen it erupt from the hands of Magnus.
Oh no! Is it a lightning bolt?
And 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆, you take 14 damage as
Oh,
as
no.
everyone dodges out of the way, and this lightning bolt like arcs down a straight line down this thing straight through 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆. Did he make it?
You see more.
Oh, go ahead.
You see what?
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, did you say 14 hit points?
Yeah.
So you see 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆 electrified and he slumps to the floor.
And
He's
𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖆
down.
perishes.
Oh
Oh,
no!
No.
You see this disc on the far wall. It looks to be made of electrum. And you also see in here a coffin.
Jesus.
Light preserve us.
I make the sign of the light
Yeah.
over his body.
Or maybe
Perhaps in the future we should enter passages such as
Cautiously.
this, test the floor, and also don't all walk in a line.
Preserving time for danger. I reckon. How big is this electrum plate?
It is really big. It probably weighs. This thing is probably 200 pounds. It's probably worth 1,000 gold pieces worth of electrum.
Wow.
no. We need to take that and get out of here.
I say we. I don't know. I say we do a Rube Goldberg thing, and then when that pans out, then we come take the electrum plate and skedaddle.
And there's
Let's-
also
why don't
cotton.
we
To
maneuver
be
this-
clear, John, you can of course roll a new character or use your inheritor, and they'll show up. So just let me know at any point. Yeah.
We should get this to the exit first,
Do we want those other jerks
Have-
to find it though?
and have like someone basically like, sorry, go ahead.
No. You go ahead. Actually, go ahead. Well, no. I'll just real quick interruption. Actually, I'm sorry, John. That was a henchman, right?
Yes.
You will not make an inheritor. You'll make a new character. That's a new lineage that you can play. Yeah. So that's one of the downsides of using a henchman is that henchman is dead. But okay, go ahead.
I think we should get this like nearer to the exit first, and then perhaps briefly split the party to have someone watch it in case those other guys are still around. They're gonna steal it, and then we do the whole Rube Goldberg machine.
Well, what would
Contraption.
be the benefit to doing that as opposed to doing the contraption and then leaving with all of our treasure in one?
Because it's gonna take
trip.
30 minutes, and what if we get attacked and then we don't have time to
Well,
get
what if-
this super heavy plate out? You know what I mean?
What if a single person gets attacked guarding a heavy plate? You know, I
Exactly.
would rather us all get to attacked at one point in time than somebody solo get attacked and we don't get the treasure. You know.
Right. True. Yeah, he's right.
Can one person carry this thing, or how much does it weigh?
I would doubt it.
It's going to take two
Yeah.
people to carry it.
Oh dang. Okay.
And could we move it faster with 3?
Not appreciably. Yeah, it's gonna. This
Yeah,
is
but
a
we get
giant
something
heavy
out.
plate. It's gonna bring your movement down to base movement 6.
All right.
Assuming you
can
don't
we at
know.
least move it down to the end of that hallway and like get it like right at the end of the, like up the little statue heft thing, and then we'll do the thing instead of bringing it all the way to the entrance. That way, it's at least
All right,
we're within sight of each other.
you
know?
do that. All right, so you move it down to the hallway. The Ruth Goldberg machine. What does that look like? Is it it's a shield with ropes, and then you're handling it with like bed rolls that you're just gonna toss and putting it in bags? Is
Football,
that
maybe.
this 10-foot
Yeah.
pole, like this kind of fishing scooping
I think
mechanism?
the idea was shield with maybe we cut piece of rope to do it, just enough to, because
Right.
like the rope's gonna basically be not usable anymore. It's gonna be soaked of death fluid,
Yep.
and we're going to maneuver it with both handles on the end of the shield, and then we're going to use the I believe the 10-foot pole, because that everything will drip off of that. We could just wipe
Okay,
it after.
I get you.
Should be fun.
Okay, so you guys ready for your 30 minutes? Let's see how it goes. You start working. You put the lantern down, presumably. Merdagian's not carrying it anymore. You put it down there somewhere so you can see. You're sweating. You hear one another breathing. You can see your shadows dancing across the walls. And time begins to pass as you work. And then you hear it.
God, that chittering shit.
10 minutes in, at the edge of your lantern light, you see a figure, and it's making slopping whispering. Imagine a whisper kind of groaning noise, except wet lips and mouth noises. Imagine mouth noises, but like 10 times louder. And wet, plopping feet, plop, plop, slapping wetly across the floor as it slowly makes its way to you in the dark. Now, you can't tell it's in the dark, but it's some kind of humanoid figure. What do you do?
Do we bail?
How many people are we saying need to operate this Rube Goldberg?
I'll say 3.
Okay. All right. How about you 3 keep working on that, and I will go investigate and potentially engage this thing in combat. If I need you, I'll call and we can drop it and fight this, or leave together. All right.
I can go with you, Finbar.
We need 3 to operate the Rube
sorry.
Goldberg.
Right,
There's
right.
5 of us.
Yeah.
No, not anymore. There's not.
Sorry.
More.
Okay. So here we
Yeah,
go.
I'll
So
throw these
no,
guys.
no big deal. So this is what you see, and this is what happens. This figure comes into the light eventually. It looks like continually oozing, like the goo is just flowing off of it. Except you still see 2 big yellow eyeballs that are intact. And it seems to like slurp and gurgle as some form of talking, and it reaches out a slimy, sopping wet hand to you, Finbar, as if pleading, and then making gurgling, slurping noises. What do you do?
I'm gonna stand a little bit away from it and ask if it can. Can you understand me? Are you in there?
It nods its head.
Oh snap! Do you want to fight?
It shakes its head no. It raises out 2 sopping wet, gooey hands as if pleading.
Oh, what could it possibly want? Do you want food?
Just a moment, I apologize. Let me
Oh, you're all right.
I have a thing for that.
While we're doing this, and like the other 3 of us, can we at least look and interact, like speak in that direction?
Yeah, sure.
while we're
Yeah,
doing
I got you. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can also you can just metagame. You can be like, hey, this is what I think you should do, Finbar. It's totally
I want to
cool.
know if it's
Don't
cursed
touch it.
or not. So like maybe we
I'm
ask
not
it if it's
interested in touching it.
Yeah.
If it's cursed, we can maybe come back and offer it help in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
It looks at your head, Finbar. You can tell it's looking at your brow, your jawline, and it looks almost like it's licking its lips, and its gooey, squishy hand starts squishing together like it so badly wants to squish. It so badly wants to something. Something is it's hungering for something.
or something. Is it brains? Is that racist to say?
It doesn't seem to respond to that, and it starts to slowly, 1 foot in front of the other. 20 minutes have passed. You have 10 more minutes.
All right, I'm gonna toss out a thing of dried rations, sort of at its feet.
You toss out the dried rations at its feet. It
Take a
slows
step back.
down. It falls to its knees. It looks at it, and then it gurgles. It chokes. It throws up some bile on it. It seems to whimper and gurgle, make slurping noises, and slowly get to its feet, and then look at you in desperation, pleading. And then it starts looking at your head again, and starts licking its slimy lips again.
Oh, I think
I think it wants to eat your head.
I'm starting to think it's probably brains, but it could be my hair. I cut off a lock and toss that towards it, and then maybe walk
good.
a little bit away from it again.
It has the same effect. It stops. It looks at the hair. You can see it holds up the hair in its slimy hand, and then the hair wilts in its own hand. It looks sorrowful at the hair that just wilts. And then it looks at you again, pleading, a begging look. And then it looks at your head again and slowly starts to advance. You buy like a couple of 2 or 3 or 4 minutes doing this.
Yeah, can one of them hold? Can they hold on to it and it not like make any progress, but not like reset it?
I don't want to touch it.
Can I free one of them up?
Yeah, you can free one of the folks up, sure.
Quick, Nazira, grab Merdaigian's corpse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. This is a neutral action, just to clarify. I think I know where you're going with this.
I figured it would. I figured this wouldn't be directly chaotic.
Yeah, it's a
I'm gonna
neutral
say a
action.
quick prayer about
Take
it.
off
I'm a
his
little
backpack
uncomfortable,
before
yeah.
Take his backpack off before you do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you take his stuff. You take his stuff. Yeah, you got all his stuff. So you take him, drag the body there, and then the slime man collapses next to Myrdagian, looks at it, strokes Myrdagian's hair, which wilts as if he ages 100 years just as the slime passes. Holds his head. The skin starts to wilt in the slimy hand, and then he starts to sort of chokes as if on his own slimy snot breath, and then gets upset, holds both sides of Myrdagian's head and squeezes, and then Myrdagian's head pops like a grape in the slimy hands, and you see Myrdagian's eyes still intact as Myrdagian's body begins to slowly change.
Light preserve us.
Change?
All right, get back to dredging. He seems
I think he
distracted.
just made
Is
another.
it changing as in aging, or is it changing as in turning into something?
Into
I think
slime.
he's turning into one of those.
Yeah, you're able to get onto your shield the contents of the pool and examine them. I presume you put them in bedrolls and sacks and stuff and don't touch it.
Yeah.
You find the following things. You can clean these items too if you want to do something with any of them.
Okay.
Hold on. You find the following things. You find a few things happen. So let me describe what you find and then something happens. Number one, a heavy, ornate, massive bling golden chain necklace that you think is probably worth 3,500 gold pieces. It's full of gems and diamonds. A silver ring that is gleaming with some sort of faint, glimmering duomer. And one other thing, and I actually have to look it up. Sorry. Let me look.
We found the final resting place of Flavor Flav.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Clocks out for Flava Flav.
That's
I
right.
would like the ring, I think.
Do
But we
you
can
touch
discuss.
the ring?
I would
I'm
say
not
we
gonna
should get it
touch
identified.
You don't?
I think
Okay.
we should bring these out and wash them.
I know a
in
guy in
clean
Eric
water,
Browning that can get
And
that.
then I
Yeah.
think once they're safe, we should also dump soil on them and stuff like that, you know? It also might be cursed, too.
That's. I know a guy in Eric Brownia who would be able to identify this for us.
Anyways, let's get the hell out of here right now. Like, immediately.
Well, I wanted to see if this thing is gonna finish absorbing Myrdagian and see if we can grab that electrum plate. Or no, it's on our way up, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we brought
Okay,
it.
alright.
We brought it to the end of the tunnel.
Clever thinking.
Remarkable. I have to type this in.
Oh my gosh. Ross is searching the archives.
We're rich.
He actually has to go dredge a lake to find the information about this thing. He's gonna be distracted. It's gonna take him 30 minutes. He's gonna need to make a pulley system.
It's so sad that Myrdagian is dead with what I'm about to tell you.
Oh, no.
It's so sad.
What level was he?
He's a level 3
Three.
magic user.
Oh, man.
I know, man. That's right. Yeah. Where is this?
We all just, half of us just narrowly escaped death.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lucky on our saving throws, man.
Because
I mean,
I think Eddie and I would
Here
have
we
been
go.
dead instantly. I don't know about
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
else. but
Yeah.
I would have survived it.
I might.
Yeah.
What was the damage?
14.
I wouldn't
You
use it.
find
Barely.
you find a sopping wet cloak with a light glow to it.
Oh, wow.
And then lastly, tumbling out a head. It tumbles out on the shield, tumbles across the floor, turns upwards, eyes open. Ah! And it starts screaming as loud as it can.
Oh,
That's
just-
not good.
Let's run. Let's leave right now. Right immediately.
And then another
No
one of these things
debate,
shows up.
Let's just get the hell out of here.
I think the get the hell out of here is a good plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
There we go. Another one of these things
Take
shows
our
up.
money and run.
Are they still
Run.
distracted by the corpse?
Oh, we
on the
gotta
right?
grab that big plate though.
If
we'll
you
get it.
grab the plate, these
The
things
plate's
will
at the end
catch
of
up
the
to you.
hall, and it's up the statue.
Okay. Can we
They
can
are
we
faster.
drop some fire?
Oh,
Can
yeah.
we drop some fire on the way out?
How do you do that?
Anybody got oil? My oil's in the lantern right now.
I don't
don't
have
know,
any of it.
I have
I
some
mean,
oil.
All right, oil up the hallway, flint and
All right.
steel.
Greasing up the
let's
hallway.
climb up, dump it down in the hole, and then push the statue over it, basically.
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna try to like roll this disc, and then you're gonna try to just dump a bunch of flaming oil to prevent these things. Okay, I get it. How much?
We put the disc
How much?
out of the hole.
That's fine. How much flaming oil do you have? I'm gonna say it takes at least 3. It takes at least 3.
I have,
You need
I
fire.
have one flask.
One
I have
flask.
one flask.
What else we got?
I got torches. That's all I got.
No other flasks of oil?
I've
mean,
got
I've got
holy
my-
water.
I haven't used
can
my
trust
lamp. I have a bronze lamp that has oil in it. I assume
I'll
it
say
can
it's
use it.
Empty
2.
the lamp oil. Just empty all the lamp oil. Just do it.
Yeah.
Merdagian's
torches.
lamp oil, and you're gonna go to torches. Okay, so you
Yeah.
toss the lamp oil, you do the other lamp, you use the flask of oil to try to build fire, and then you're starting to like roll this thing and get it up there. Da da da. You're trying to push it up, and then you just see at the edge of the fire these sorrowful, pleading, sad orange eyes on the other side of the fire, begging.
Yep, sorry, buddy.
And with that, some of you have survived another day in the 12 islands, and you make
I
it
bet
back
you-
with a huge electrum disc. Did you keep track of what I said it was worth? I'm sorry, I can look it up. But
Like 1,000.
1,000. It was
was
Electrum worth 1,000 gold.
It was actually worth 40,000 gold.
Uh,
You don't need to roll back the tape.
you
that necklace is worth
you
a
probably
lot.
find a place to cache this. You probably don't want to roll it down the seedy streets of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖐. You know, you find a place to
Right.
cache it. You go back to the tavern. You have also, before we end tonight, you have a golden chain worth, what did I say?
3,500.
3,500 gold pieces, and then a ring and a cloak.
You want about
and-
that screaming head?
I bet you that cloak is like a cloak of protection, which is why he was saying too bad Bordigian died.
Now, did you say that you want to go to have these identified?
Yes.
Yeah.
Master Enrique Monteforte. Enrico Monteforte.
And we wash and like coat in dirt all the things that were in the death pool, just to make sure that they're like thoroughly cleaned of death liquid.
Did you say Master Enrico Suave?
No.
Something like that.
Close though. Yeah. Pretty. Might as
He's
well.
a very extravagant man.
He's like if Antonio Banderas weighed 350 pounds.
Nice.
He's pretty much that.
You go to one of the most imposing structures in the island republic of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖐 on its far northern end, in the ancient fortress part of the city. A grand palace, stairs leading up, in a Greek open-air style, like the Pantheon. Inside is an obese man, fanned, being served by multiple servants. He's in a toga, and he says, "Ah, you again, I see," points to Finbar.
Yes. I've returned to your lovely island and your especially lovely home, Master Enrico. We have yet another ring which we would like you to identify. We also have a cloak that may be of interest that might that we would ask you to identify as well. Of course, we'll pay your commission.
He looks at the cloak and the ring, and he says, "You know I am bound by the towers. I can only tell you what it is for a fee, or you can sell it to me. You must choose in advance."
I seem to remember last time you telling us how much of it was worth before we decided to sell or identify.
He looks at the ring and he says, 3,500 gold pieces for the ring.
Holy shit.
And 2,000 for the cloak.
Gentlemen, what do we think?
I think we should identify everything.
Okay, so if we identify it, we cannot sell it to this guy. Start with it.
I think anything worth that much with magic on it is worth keeping and not selling.
My 2 cents, if you're curious, we've gotten him to identify one thing in the past, and it was worth something similar, an amount similar, and we chose to directly sell it to him because we were very early in our adventure and we wanted that cold hard cash. I believe most of us ended up buying houses and unlocking inheritance benefits with that cash.
I mean, we got a whole bunch of money from everything else, though. I still think it's worth it. And like, if someone ends up with a wizard, if that is a cloak of protection, I mean that's massive.
Yeah, that's good for him.
Yeah. So I mean, I think, and plus keep in mind we have close to 5,000 gold. Other than those 2 items.
Yeah, we
So
need to keep
I 100% I think we should keep the items.
Josh, John? That's 2 votes for identification.
Yeah, identify sounds good to me.
He smiles.
Oh, sorry. Are we voting?
I was just asking your opinion. See if you had anything to say about it.
If you think you can get more later, maybe you should.
It sounds like we want to identify it. What's the fee?
He says, for the cloak, 100 gold to identify it. I feel generous today. Furthermore, I will waive my fee on the ring for a promise and a magical curiosity.
What does that mean?
Yeah, is that to be fulfilled immediately or to be filled
Immediately! I assure you that whoever puts on the ring will not be permanently harmed. That much I am sure. And you can remove the ring. But if someone tries it on, I will identify it for free.
And it won't,
Volunteers?
you won't be harmed.
I think
I'll
he
volunteer.
wants to be entertained a little
You know
bit.
what? I'll do it.
All right, go ahead.
You put the ring up. Do you want the cloak identified first, or you want to try the ring first?
Let's try the ring first. This may take some
Okay.
time
Yeah, what
to
a-
resolve.
Let's roll the dice.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. That's NJ. You put on the silver ring, right?
Yeah.
You put on the silver ring, and then one of your eyes, your head starts to hurt. And you feel all this pressure, and it's growing, and you see one of his eyes turn large, and then lidless and yellow, like one of the eyes from the dungeon, and then pop, it pops out of his skull into your hand, and you have like an empty eye socket, and you're looking around, and then you're holding your big lidless yellow eye, and you realize the eye is still moving around. You can see from it.
What the?
Oh, that's useful.
I regret my decision.
I feel like you should get the ring though for this.
Oh my god. Wait, is this what the ring does then?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait. So now I forever have my eye out of my head that I can see it.
He says, "You fool, take off the ring." And he laughs.
Okay, I take it off.
Your eyeball, and then it pops back into your eye, like.
And that's what it does?
Yep, that's what it does.
Seems like a toy.
Why would someone make something like that?
I
That
wish we sold it, man.
That seems incredibly useful. But also worth 3,500 gold? You have to live with that now, Nuke. All right,
Yeah.
the cloak.
He says, 100 gold, please.
Oh, of course. I'll pay it up front, but it'll be taken out of our total.
Yeah, that's fine.
You take the coin purse and he hands it off to one of his shaven 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖊𝖗 servants who
Oh,
goes like this. He like shave. Doesn't have eyebrows, doesn't have facial hair, no hair on top, and he
like
shakes
Professor.
shakes the money bag, turns towards Master 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗 and nods, and then 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 says, "That is one of the mighty elven cloaks of the far forest west of here.
Wow.
A cloak of protection +2.
Wow. Oh my god. +2.
Out of character, anyone who is not a fighter can use this. Magic user, cleric, thief.
Oh,
Wow.
we only have the one person in our repertoire who's not a fighter currently.
I think we need to give that cloak to the guy who lost the character tonight.
So
Yeah,
so
I don't
fighters
know exactly
can't
how that
use
would
it?
work.
You could do that actually. You can say, hey, you know what? Mardagian was a friend of 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗. 𝕬𝖃𝖊's a fighter though, so you can't really do that. But
But it would look so drippy. He's already dripped out to the gills.
I'm not gonna
His
break
glowing
the
cloak with
rules of the
glowing
game.
crown.
It says it can only be cleric, thief, or magic
I'll-
user.
I'll trade the ring for it because I can use it.
No one
Yeah,
wants-
okay.
You could do
No one
that.
wants
the
the
ring.
eyeball ring. No one wants that eyeball ring.
John, do you want to give 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗 the eyeball ring?
The eyeball ring could.
Yeah,
come in
sure.
handy.
He would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
be so Odin at that point.
Seriously?
So Odin.
And
Yeah.
also, because of the value of these things, I think that whoever keeps them, we should perhaps deduct the value from the treasure. Or do you guys not
No,
want
no.
to?
No.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
so what we do is we try to make sure everybody gets a magic item next time, right? So like next time you will not get a magic item. It'll be the next person. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've been
perfectly
ineligible for
reasonable.
magic items for years at this point.
I'm so sorry, man, because you got new players, right?
Well, no, I'm just going
Actually-
around picking up hordes of cash, so I'm not super upset about
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like rich. Man.
Fighters do need magic items, though. That is clear. They definitely need magic items. Okay, cool. So 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗, you can take him this ring that makes your eyeball pop out, and then you can see from it. The cloak is a +2 cloak of protection.
That's great.
It's known as a legendary, otherworld artifact. It's from the other. It is magical. It gives +2 to AC and +2 to saving throws.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Jeez Louise.
Incredible.
Who's getting the cloak?
Yeah. And with that, our adventure will end for the night.